Hello.
Yo, Raj, talk to me.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Big Bang Theory moments that didn't age well.
Cancel my next appointment. This is gonna take a while.
For this list, we'll be looking at moments from this long-running CBS sitcom that aged poorly over time, regardless of how self-aware they may have been at the time. In hindsight, it's hard not to view these moments as uncomfortable and in poor taste. What cringeworthy moments from The Big Bang Theory do you consider dated? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. Stuart's depression.
I'm having a nightcap. You want to join me?
What are you drinking?
Coffee, liqueur, and a Chewbacca mug. I call it a sad teeny.
Stuart Bloom, the eccentric owner of the comic book store, became a series regular starting in season 6. For his part, he was an endearing element of the show's later years, although that endearment may have been because it was hard not to feel sorry for the guy.
Hey, Stuart.
What brings you guys here?
We were looking for a recommendation about comic books.
Oh, well, I recommend you don't open a store and sell them.
The show threw Stuart one curveball after another, whether it was his floundering business, his bad luck with dating, and most notably, his struggle with mental health. While we lamented his situation, most of the other characters certainly didn't.
Haven't seen you in forever. Look how gray you've gotten.
My hair's exactly the same color as always.
No, I was talking about your skin.
On the contrary, Stuart's uphill battle actually allowed his friends to take advantage of him many times over. Seeing as how depression is a very real struggle for numerous people, we have to wonder why.
Look at you. You have everything. Look at me. I'm 37. I sleep in the back of a comic book store, and I have the bone density of an 80-year-old man.
Number 9. Leonard's childhood.
Mom?
I understand you have been whining about my parenting in order to emotionally manipulate your girlfriend.
Leonard wasn't so much a son to his neuroscientist mother, Beverly, as he was an unwilling guinea pig in her many experiments.
We didn't have a tree when I was growing up.
Really? Why not?
In my family, holidays weren't so much celebrated as studied for their anthropological and psychological implications on human society.
The show was not above poking fun at the Hofstadter's approach to family life, such as their unconventional holiday traditions, but Season 3's The Pants Alternative gave us a glimpse of how deeply Beverly's idea of parenting has affected her son. While helping Sheldon overcome his fear of public speaking, Leonard's attempt at therapy takes a turn when he himself becomes the client.
When I was 8, I won a ribbon at the science fair for my project, Do Lima Beans Grow Better to Classical Music? But my mother pointed out that it was just a rehash of my brother's earlier Do Lima Beans Grow Worse to Rock and Roll.
The laugh track feels out of place as he recounts a humiliating story of how Beverly essentially guilted him into giving an award back. Considering how his mother would continue to mistreat him, Leonard deserves every award in the world.
First of all, the projects were totally different. I was showing that classical music nurtures lima beans and makes them grow, but my mother didn't hear me.
Number 8. Penny's intelligence. If anything is made clear throughout the series, Penny is not like the rest of the gang.
I power a clock with a potato.
Shut up! You can do that? I mean, wouldn't that solve the world's energy crisis?
No.
Though she possesses the strongest social skills, she also served as the show's resident dumb blonde for a lot longer than she should have. It was practically a custom for Sheldon to throw in the occasional jibe about Penny's upbringing in Nebraska and her lack of proper education.
Penny, you're from Nebraska, correct?
Born and raised.
As expected, Dr. Cooper was often too concerned with his own agenda to understand that he was hurting Penny's feelings.
Do you remember that date?
Darn tootin', I do. If the court will excuse my homespun, corn-fed Nebraskan turn of phrase.
Excellent, go on.
While some of the jokes at Penny's expense were all in good fun, others were just outright cruel and demeaning. Don't think we've forgotten the time she was shamed by Sheldon and Amy.
This is very interesting. Cultural perceptions are subjective. Penny, to your mind, are you a slut?
No.
Number 7. The gender divide.
Can you please stop staring? They're just girls. It's nothing you haven't seen in movies or in drawings.
It's understandable that a group of nerdy and socially awkward people might get nervous when interacting with those they might be attracted to. But The Big Bang Theory's portrayal of gender dynamics remains largely misguided throughout its run. Sexism and gatekeeping went hand in hand, and the series often suggested that only men are able to appreciate pop culture.
Hot girl, 9 o'clock. Don't everybody look at once.
What is she doing in a comic book store?
I don't know. She might be lost.
The group's fascination with superheroes, science fiction, and fantasy wasn't typically reciprocated by the women in their lives, but the instances in which Penny, Amy, or Bernadette began to show an interest themselves were complicated by the guys' failure to comprehend them.
The strap is part of the hammer.
Are they actually arguing about comic books?
No, that can't be right.
Maybe Thor's hammer is the new color of nail polish.
There's nothing weird about women having such interests, and it's a little sad that the show didn't make inclusivity a bigger talking point.
Now Ben Affleck is Batman? Oh, he was great in Shakespeare in Love. We should watch that next girls' night.
We could do a double feature with the Leonardo DiCaprio, Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, I love me some Leo.
And it's gone.
Number 6. Body shaming. Joking about a character's physical appearance is a cheap exercise in humour that most, if not all, sitcoms resort to at some point. But that doesn't make the rampant body shaming that goes on in The Big Bang Theory any more acceptable.
I love this time of the year. The leaves are turning, there's a bracing chill in the air.
Plus, there's a whole new crop of female grad students about to put on just enough winter weight to make them needy and vulnerable.
On top of the show's blatant sexism, obesity and body image were the subject of many moments played for laughs. This is especially true of Howard's mother, who, prior to her death in season 8, was essentially a walking punchline due to her weight.
Wish my mom was here. Could all hang out in her shadow.
Sadly, she wasn't the only victim of the writing team's attitude. Each of the 4 guys in the group are guilty to one degree or another, and such behaviour remains a smear on the show's legacy.
I've seen pictures of your mother. Keep eating.
Number 5. Howard and Raj's coupling.
Such a child.
Hey, is that any way to talk to your future husband? Hey, I was being hypothetical, okay? I would never marry you.
Please, when you see the ring I pick out, you're gonna melt.
Yeah, right. Wait, is it rose gold? Actually, don't tell me. I want to be surprised.
Howard and Raj's friendship is perhaps the series' most consistent one. Before Howard started dating Bernadette, it seemed as though the two spent every waking moment with one another, often arguing and joking around like a couple.
How about we go spend the day together? Just the 2 of us. We'll go anywhere you want.
I don't know.
Come on. Let me take you someplace nice.
Even as the series progressed, the circumstances surrounding their relationship remained one of its longest-running gags.
You know, both selective mutism and an inability to separate from one's mother can stem from a pathological fear of women. It might explain why the 2 of you have created an ersatz homosexual marriage to satisfy your need for intimacy.
That being said, representation of the LGBTQ+ community has matured to such a degree that it's easy to view this kind of humour as of its time and a little homophobic. It certainly doesn't help whenever the 2 have to quickly jump in and defend themselves.
So, Howard, have you and Rajesh finally summoned the courage to express your latent homosexual feelings towards one another?
What? No!
Why not?
And just when we thought we were done pointing the finger and thinking about queerness in scandalous terms. Number 4. Sheldon's mansplaining.
No. Hey, don't go mansplaining things to her. I don't think that's what he was doing. Oh, then perhaps you don't understand. See, mansplaining is when a man explains things to a woman like she's stupid.
If there's one thing about Sheldon that could possibly rival his brilliant mind, it's his obliviousness when understanding people. While almost every episode has demonstrated this undesirable quality, he actually lands in hot water for it in season 6's The Egg Salad Equivalency. After Sheldon notices his assistant Alex flirting with Leonard, his plans to talk to her about it goes awry, courtesy of an inappropriate metaphor.
My father used to say that a woman is like an egg salad sandwich on a warm Texas day.
What?
Full of eggs and only appealing for a short time.
Later, after being called into human resources, he manages to make things even worse for Administrator Janine Davis.
Oh, I see the confusion here. No, Alex thought I was singling her out. No, I meant that all women are slaves to their biological urges, you know? Even you.
Looking back on it now, it's hard to believe his ignorance went that far. Given the prevalence of both the #MeToo and Black Lives Matter movements, he'd have gotten a far worse punishment today.
The university has mandated that I take an online sexual harassment seminar, so this sort of thing doesn't happen in the future.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, my time is much too valuable to waste on nonsense like this.
Number 3, racism.
Why would you think this is an appropriate gift?
Well, you are black, right?
As long as we're discussing Sheldon's cultural insensitivity, we had best shine a light on the likeliest source of his behaviour, his mother, Mary. While Laurie Metcalf was a perfect addition to the cast as Mrs. Cooper, her character's southern charm and born-again Christian values didn't exactly lend themselves to political correctness.
Back home, the diner on Route 4 serves sushi, but it's just cut-up fish sticks and a side of Uncle Ben's. Put it on the menu in those kung fu letters, but that don't make it sushi.
We all know she meant well, but the show certainly milked a lot of cringeworthy humour from her out-of-touch worldview, especially when Raj was involved.
You still having trouble talking to the ladies? Because you know, at our church, we have a woman who's an amazing healer. Mostly she does crutch and wheelchair people. But I bet she'd be willing to take a shot at whatever third world demon is running around inside of you.
In fact, there's quite a few jokes across the series' 12-season targeted at Indian culture, with Howard being one of the biggest offenders. You would think helping out your best friend wouldn't involve donning such a racist impersonation of his accent.
Hello, Lalita. Raj, good to... Yes, it is good to talk to you too. So, what are you wearing?
Number 2, Howard's misogyny.
Enchanté, mademoiselle. Howard Wolowitz, Caltech Department of Applied Physics. You may be familiar with some of my work. It's currently orbiting Jupiter's largest moon, taking high-resolution digital photographs.
Sometimes we have to wonder how Howard ever held a job and long-lasting friendships in the first place. As his familiarity with the Caltech's HR department might indicate, his past was largely defined by a long history of misconduct.
Relax, everything's gonna be fine. Before I met Bernadette, I was in here every other day. And little tip, turn off your I like big butts ringtone before you go in.
Penny, in particular, was on the receiving end of his unflattering comments, which began all the way back in the series' second episode. As the guys help their new neighbour assemble some furniture, they, of course, overanalyze and overcomplicate the instructions. When Penny tries to reason with them, she's met with this unjustified response from Wolowitz.
Guys, this is actually really simple.
Hold on, honey, men at work.
Howard's superficial view of Penny didn't improve immediately, making us question why she's the one who apologizes after finally calling him out in the following season.
Wait a minute, this isn't flirting, you're serious.
Flirting? You think I'm flirting with you? I am not flirting with you! No woman is ever gonna flirt with you. You're just gonna grow old and die alone.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Stalking the models. Howard and Raj's early season quest to meet women seemingly knew no bounds, but we have to draw the line somewhere.
We are lost boys.
Good for you.
I'm actually much more lost than he is.
Their decision to pick up dates in a goth bar was quick questionable enough, but misleading women this way is nothing compared to their extreme obsession with America's Next Top Model.
Wait a minute. You're telling me that I'm within driving distance of a house filled with aspiring supermodels?
After watching the show with Penny, Howard and Raj are so taken in by the contestants that they use military technology to locate their mansion and spy on them. It's low, even for them, as it's not only reprehensible, but illegal.
For the record, what you guys are doing is really creepy.
You know what? If it's creepy to use the internet, military satellites, and robot aircraft to find a house full of gorgeous young models so that I can drop in on them unexpectedly, then fine, I'm creepy.
That the two never get any comeuppance for their actions really is the cherry on top of what is arguably the worst thing they've ever done.
What do we do now? Follow Mrs. Wallowitz.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.